A woman justifies why women should leave a good man. She actually thinks leaving a good man is a good idea. She thinks it makes sense. Let's watch the video.
There's been a lot of conversation lately about women leaving good men or women walking away from a man that's a quote unquote good man. And I think a part of the problem is that a lot of men define themselves as good men and they actually aren't. These self-proclaimed good men think that they are because they don't cheat on women or beat on women. But it takes more to being a good man than not doing those things. And just because a man is a quote unquote good man doesn't mean he's the good man for you. Some of these quote unquote good men don't respect women. They weaponize their incompetence. They don't take care of their children. They're disrespectful. They consume manosphere red pill content all day and they think that women are beneath them. I feel like the men who are acting as if women are being too picky or we're looking for the perfect man if we don't want the quote unquote good guy, it's the same energy as saying for them to settle. It's like the saying goes, give a man 10 women and he'll keep looking. Give a woman 10 men and she'll choose. They want you to choose out of this small batch of men and say, hey, out of these 10 guys, which one do you want? Yeah, but there's more than 10 guys out there. And even if he's the nicest out of the 10, doesn't mean that he's what I want. These men want single women to say close enough, he's good enough, he'll do, but that's not what men say. They take their time. They're in no rush to find what they want, but they want to rush you along. They want to make you feel like you're up against the clock. You're running out of time. Your childbearing years are over. That's why they try to tell you that after 25, you're no good and all that. They have a vested interest in trying to hurry you up and picking one of them because they know if you actually took your time, they wouldn't even get picked.
I would like to say that a man telling a woman that her years are going by, her childbearing years are going by, is actually not right. If there's anybody who actually does that. But the problem is, what kind of man is he? Did you actually check out that man? Because I don't think a good man would say a thing like that. It takes somebody who is very arrogant to say a thing like that. But when arrogance is backed up with some cash, most of the time, most women overlook the red flags and assume the man is good because he has money. Checking back at what she said. In quotes, she said they think they are good men enough because they don't beat on women or cheat on women, but it takes a lot to be a good man without being those things. I've always believed that meekness isn't weakness. It's strength under control. But lately, I can't help but wonder if a man doesn't cheat on you, he doesn't hit you, and still shows up every day trying to love you the best way he knows how, why do so many women think that's not enough? What exactly do women want from men? Because it seems like peace no longer excites us. Only chaos does. Like most women, not every woman. At what point did we move the goalpost from what makes a man worthy? We used to say good men don't hit women. That was the standard, the line that defined decency. Now it feels like if a man is calm, patient, or loyal, he's called boring, weak, or too available. How did we get here? To a place where a woman can be loved right and still crave the thrill of being treated wrong. We are losing sight of what makes love safe. Not soft, I mean safe. A man who chooses restraint isn't powerless. He's powerful beyond measure. Because any man can raise his hand in anger, but it takes a real man to master himself. So maybe the question isn't why aren't there good men anymore? Maybe the real question is why don't we value them when they show up? Because if kindness doesn't move you, loyalty doesn't impress you, and peace feels dull to you, then maybe it's not men who changed. Maybe it's the noise in the world that made women forget what love is supposed to feel like. Gentle, not chaotic. We don't thrive in drama. We drown in it. And yet, somehow, we keep calling the storm exciting. Just because a man is a good man doesn't mean he's a good man enough for you. But wait a minute. Let me get this straight. He was good enough to marry at the beginning, right? The vows were made. The ring was taken, and it was given and it was taken. The plans were set, right? But somewhere along the line, he's suddenly not good enough for you. Think about that for a second. Marriage isn't a highlight reel. It's not about moments that feel easy or exciting. It's about showing up when it's uncomfortable, when it's messy, when nothing feels perfect. It's about deliberate work, conscious steps taken every single day by both people. Most of the time, marriage isn't convenient. To be truthful, it isn't a safety net you can step away from when things get challenging. It's a partnership, a companionship, a shared responsibility. And when only one person shows up, the foundation starts to crack. So let me ask you, if he was good enough to marry, why isn't he good enough now? Is it that he changed? Or is it that the standard of enough has changed? That love is no longer measured by commitment, by loyalty, by willingness to work through hard times, but by how comfortable it makes you feel in the moment? Real relationships don't crumble because someone isn't perfect. They crumble because someone refuses to do the work. Someone refuses to stay when things get tough. And someone forgets that marriage is not a contract to leave when it's inconvenient. It's a promise to grow together, even though the discomfort. So before we decide someone isn't good enough anymore, maybe we should ask ourselves, are we showing up as much as we expect them to? And she goes, they don't respect women. They weaponize their incompetence. They don't take care of their children. They consume red pill content and feel like women are beneath them. You know, I hear a lot of women talking about commitment phobic men these days. And here is the thing. If you're using the phrase to explain away dissatisfaction in your marriage, you aren't probably talking about a good man. A good man loves his seed. He takes care of his family. He shows up, even when it's hard, even when no one notices. Yes, maybe he scrolls through red pill content sometimes, but that's not because he's lost. He's trying to understand the world he's living in, trying to navigate it so he can protect what matters. Respect him. And you see it. You see a good man in the comment section praising his wife, celebrating her, showing love where it's due. But modern women, many want to live in rebellion. They want freedom, independence, self-expression, all valid desires. But they expect magic from the men in their lives. And that's right there is where the problem starts. Because if you live in rebellion but demand perfection from him, aren't you just justifying bad behavior in yourself? Aren't you giving yourself permission to treat him poorly? All because you're bored. All because marriage isn't giving you the same excitement as dating. Marriage isn't dating. And this is exactly why jumping from one relationship to another has become normal. People don't stick it out. People don't do the hard work. They chase novelty instead of nurturing. They weaponize theories, ideas, and mindset they can't even prove just to make themselves feel justified. A good man doesn't need constant proof of love. He needs respect. He needs acknowledgement. He needs to feel like his effort matters. You disrespect him, and suddenly he looks elsewhere for validation. You assume he's flawed because maybe you just forgot how to treat him right. So before you start preparing your mind to tear him down, are you acting in rebellion or are you genuinely unfulfilled? Are you seeking growth or just excuses to justify your boredom? Because a good man isn't a problem. Your treatment of him often is. And until we learn to value what's right in front of us, marriage will continue to feel like a revolving door. She also said, give a man many women and they keep picking, but give a woman plenty of men and they choose. Men want you to choose. Do you really want to keep picking or choosing? Flipping through options as if the right one is just waiting for you to swipe again? Isn't it better to decide and truly stick with the person you've chosen? To commit, to work at making it work day after day, even when things get uncomfortable? Good men aren't complicated. They are simple in the best way. Respect him, enjoy intimacy with him, appreciate him. That's it. That's the turbo engine of relationships. Nothing more, nothing less. Do that and he'll be with you. He'll grow old with you. Even when attraction fades, he'll stay. Because he knows one thing for certain: you are his to protect. And let's get this straight: a good man is not perfect. Far from it. Every relationship is a work in progress. There is no perfect formula, no modern manual to navigate this age of instant gratification, endless options, and fleeting attention. But there is a principle that still works: respect and commitment. Show up, honor him, value him. Stability comes from showing up day after day with your heart and your mind in it, from choosing to appreciate him when it's easy and when it's hard. Stability comes from nurturing the love that's always there instead of endlessly searching for the next thrill. Because when you do that, when you respect him, when you enjoy intimacy with him, when you appreciate him fully, he responds in ways you can't even imagine. Loyalty, protection, patience, love, all of it multiplies. And that's how you grow together, even when the world is screaming that nothing lasts anymore. So before you keep peeking, maybe stop, decide, commit, and watch what happens when respect, love, and intimacy gets the space to breathe. That's where a good man thrives. That's where a marriage doesn't just survive, it flourishes. Don't choose a man you already plan to leave, because you will. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you will. You will convince yourself you deserve more when all you really needed was maturity. You see, that's the problem. People choose out of emotion and exit out of convenience. But here's what I find interesting. When this so called good man doesn't have much, he's suddenly not ambitious enough. He's boring. He's uninspired. Maybe too simple. But let me ask you this. If that same good man has serious money, like serious money, if he could put you in luxury, buy you comfort, make you live the soft life you've always desired, and secure himself with a prenup, would you still walk out of that relationship? Be honest, because it's easy to say money doesn't matter until you are the one living the reality of struggle. But if luxury doesn't make you stay, then maybe the problem isn't the man. Maybe it's what you value. A good man with money doesn't change his nature. He's still a provider, still protective, still faithful. The difference is you suddenly have no reason to complain. You don't see his flaws the same way anymore, do you? That's what exposes the truth. Many people don't leave because a man is bad. They leave because he's not enough for their ego. They want comfort, not connection. They want fantasy, not faithfulness. But here is what you need to know. When you're unsure, don't pick him. Don't drag someone's son into your confusion. Don't take vows you cannot keep. Because a good man doesn't deserve to be loved halfway. He deserves a woman who chooses him fully, whether he's rich, broke, tired, or growing. Before you walk away from a man who gives you peace, ask yourself this single question. Would you still leave him if he could give you the lifestyle you dream about? Or do you only respect good men when they come wrapped in wealth?